Hello, my friends. Just a quick warning before you listen to today's episode. This may be a little bit of a heavier episode than what you're used to. So I just would caution you to use your best judgment if you're listening around children. Maybe use some headphones, just kind of use your best judgment. It's nothing crazy graphic or anything like that, but it is a little bit heavier, and I just wanted to give you that warning before you listen today. Also, this could be a little bit more triggering than some of our other episodes. Granted, I figure if you're listening to a podcast about abortion and you've had an abortion, you know that already, but I do just want to be mindful and informative and let you know that it could be a little bit of a harder listen if you have experienced an abortion in your past or if you have experienced a pregnancy or infant loss. So just, again, use your best judgment. If you need to pause and come back or maybe skip this one, no hard feelings. But I hope you will tune in because this is going to be, I know, one of my favorite episodes to record. So let's dig in. Are you struggling with the pain of a past abortion and longing for help but don't know where to turn? Maybe you don't struggle with the pain of a past abortion, but are longing for redemption for a sin that you think is too big and too bad. Friend, you're in the right place. I'm Brittany, a wife, mom, and post-abortive woman that is now on a mission to help other women find hope and healing through Jesus. For over 10 years, I tried to hide the pain I carried with me as a result of my choice to have an abortion when I was 17 years old. I thought for years that I had committed the one sin that was unforgivable, and I awaited punishment from God and hid this secret in the deepest depths of my soul for over a decade. After years of prompting from the Holy Spirit, I finally found redemption and hope through Jesus and was able to recognize that when He died for everyone, that meant He died for me too. Now that I am healed, God has placed a calling on my heart to go and tell. So here I am, ready to walk alongside you so that you can find true hope and healing too. If you're ready to break free from those chains and recognize that God has a true plan and purpose for you, no matter what you have done in your past, then this podcast is for you. Fill up your favorite mug with some coffee and crack open your Bible because, friend, it's time to receive the good news. Before we get started with the episode, I just want to remind you guys that we are having our Forgiven and Set Free Abortion Recovery Retreat June 22nd through the 25th. And you guys, that is coming up. So we are going to be having that near Jamestown, North Dakota, and we have limited spots available. So if you are feeling like God is placing it on your heart, you need to receive this hope, healing, and forgiveness in Him. I want you to reach out so that you can get some information about this retreat because I want you to be there. So you can send me a DM on Instagram or you can email me. All of that information is in the show notes of this episode. If you click into this episode and scroll down, you should be able to see those show notes. It's basically just the episode's description. So click there, send me a DM or email for some information. Limited spots, but we do have scholarships available. So if that is something you're concerned about, don't worry about that part of it. Just contact us so that we can get you the details and get you signed up. Forgiven and Set Free Abortion Recovery Retreat, June 22nd through the 25th near Jamestown, North Dakota. I pray that if this is your time, that we are going to see you there. All right, friends. So today we are having a really good episode about there's way more than 5, but we're going to stick to 5 lies the abortion industry tells you. And I had the absolute honor and privilege of being invited to attend the Clinical Impact of Reproductive Choice Conference here in Fargo as a guest of my good friend Kay, who is the founder of We Are Everywhere. And she, along with a committee of really great people, put on this conference, and it was so informative. I learned so much. I was like on overload. It was like I was back in college again. I loved it, but it was also a very heavy day. So the conference consisted of video testimonials. So many of my friends had some really great testimonials about their experience with abortion, and I also had a video play at the conference, and it was one of the highlights to just get to see those testimonials of real women who have experienced abortion and healing after that abortion, and that was just really cool. We also heard from Dr. Christina Francis, who is the founder of the American Association of Pro-Life OBGYNs. I thought it was really cool because I've seen her on Fox and Friends before. I think it was Fox and Friends. It was on Fox News Channel anyway, but that was really cool. Robin Atkins, a licensed mental health counselor who is also the chair of the mental health subsection of AAPLOG. And then Kim Katola, host of Cradle My Heart Radio, and Priscilla Coleman, who is a retired professor of human development and family studies. So much goodness from those speakers, and it was just an absolute privilege to be able to learn from them and hear what they had to say. And my biggest takeaway from that day was the large amount of lies that the abortion industry is telling us. It is utterly abhorrent how many lies this industry is feeding to the public just so they can make some money. It makes me angry. And I would like to say it is righteous anger. I was so angry about this. I was fired up, you guys. On Friday, after this was over, I was fired up, and I still am. Like, it has carried into the days since. My workout Saturday morning, the morning after this conference, was so intense that I thought I had injured my leg because I couldn't straighten it. It was almost like I had pulled my hamstring. It was just so much. And I cannot wait to talk to you about some of this today. So the reason why I really wanted to focus on the lies the abortion industry tells us today is because those of us listening to this who have walked into an abortion facility and gone through with an abortion, we have ended the life of our child through abortion. We were told that our life would go back to normal and that abortion would make everything go away. And quite honestly, we were sold a lie. We were sold a lie so that this industry could continue to profit off of us. And just seeing all of this in the news and just how much more, or like really rather less restrictive some of these states' abortion laws are getting, I take this somewhat personally because some women are even victimized as children into choosing abortion. And when I say that, friends, please know I take full culpability in my choice. I know that all of the actions that I was committing leading up to my abortion is the reason I got pregnant in the first place, and I am responsible for that. And I do still take responsibility for choosing abortion, even though I was a minor. But you guys, these children are also victims. These children walking into abortion facilities are also victims of this industry because they are not given legitimate informed consent, and they honestly aren't even able to fully consent to this because their frontal lobes are not even developed. You guys, oh my gosh, that's a whole nother topic for another day. But it was just so jarring to hear all of this, but it was also really healing in a way. And I just feel compelled to share this with you because even going into the conference, it's not like I thought I knew everything. That's not it at all. But I didn't realize how much I was actually going to learn at this conference. I learned so much, and I did not expect that. And I don't mean that in a bad way or like I'm so smart and know everything. That's not the case. It's just that, oh my gosh, anyway. Anyway, how about we just get into these lies now, huh? So I'm going to tell you 5 lies that the abortion industry tells us and why they are lies. And I will have source information in the show notes because I know that I'm going to have people who want those sources. I also, am going to not just, do what they do and say a whole bunch of stuff and not have sources to back up the truth. So, lie number 1, abortion is healthcare. You guys, this is the biggest lie. Whew, it fires me up. Abortion is not healthcare. First of all, it ends a life because OBs have 2 patients. So, that is ending the life of one of the patients. But if we want to just, go further, because, apparently there's a debate out there about how fetuses aren't life. I'm not going to have that debate today. Let's talk about other reasons why abortion is not healthcare. There are no follow-up appointments after your abortion. You do not go, when you have a baby, you have a 6-week checkup. You have a 6-week postpartum visit. They check, make sure everything's good, you're healthy, all of that. There is nothing like that for abortion. There isn't. When I was in high school, so I had my abortion when I was in high school, and about a week or so afterwards, I was experiencing some pretty severe cramps. And now that I have 2 living children, I know that I was having those cramps because my uterus was shrinking back down to its normal size. Because even though I was not very far along in my pregnancy, I was only a few weeks, my uterus had still grown quite a bit. And so it was shrinking back down to its normal size, and that is why I was experiencing those cramps. They didn't tell me that. I didn't figure that out until after I actually had living children a decade later. But I was experiencing those cramps, and so I remember I was in the computer lab of my high school, and I was in so much pain. And so I asked if I could go to the bathroom, and we had a no cell phone rule in my school. We couldn't even have them out in the hallway, not even when school was out. It was pretty strict. I guarantee you it's not that strict nowadays. But I had my cell phone, my secret cell phone, because I had my whole secret phone. I don't know if I've told you guys about that. I'll have to tell you about that in another episode. But I took that out and I called the abortion facility and I asked them, I am in so much pain. What's wrong with me? I feel like, can I schedule a follow-up appointment just to make sure everything's okay? And they said, oh, we don't do follow-up appointments. And I just remember saying, well, I feel like something's wrong and I don't know what to do. I don't know who to ask. And the woman asked me, well, have you taken any Tylenol like we told you to? And I said, well, yeah, I took this much at this time today. And she said, take 2 more and you'll be fine. That was it. There was no comfort. There was no, you're going to be okay. It was, well, I guess she said you'll be fine, but it wasn't oh, honey, you're going to be fine. It was, oh, just take 2 more and you'll be fine. That is not healthcare. That is absolutely not healthcare. That was no compassion. It was, I already have your money and I don't really care to see what is going on past this conversation. Not to mention, you guys, now they are doing abortion pills in the mail. You don't have to go have an in-person visit with a doctor before you obtain these pills. You do not have to have an ultrasound to see how far along you were. Do you know how many women get their gestation wrong? They get their dates wrong. You go in, you call, you're like, oh, I believe I'm this many weeks pregnant. I'm excited for my first visit. You go to the doctor and the doctor's like, oh yeah, you were way off on your weeks. Do you know how often that happens? This is insane to me that you can get this pill, and we're going to talk about it, you guys. We're going to talk about it later on. You can get these pills, this medication in the mail without even seeing a doctor. I can't so much as get an antibiotic without having at least a video visit on my chart. It's insane to me. I just don't understand how that is considered healthcare when all they're doing is exchanging money and then saying, see you later. It's just insane to me. Anyways, we should move on. Lie number 2. This one is really hard. Lie number 2. You can have an abortion in the comfort of your own home. Now, why is this a lie? It's a lie because they aren't telling you what that's like. They're painting this picture of you being able to utilize this abortion pill regimen in the comfort of your own home. You can be in bed, in your sweats, relaxing, just drink lots of water, and it'll all be over soon. No, you guys, this procedure is not simple and easy. If you have not watched Unplanned by Abby Johnson's story, you can watch it on Prime, Amazon Prime Video. Rent it and watch it. The scene of her having a chemical abortion is pretty much 100% accurate. It is not simple and easy in the comfort of your home. I have friends that have done this, and they laid on their bathroom floor for days thinking they were dying. And they continued to bleed heavily for weeks and weeks, afraid. This is not healthcare. This is not simple. And they glamorize this, you guys. It just, again, righteous anger. I'm just going to claim it as righteous anger. It makes me so frustrated. If this happened to you, if this is what you went through, if you had an abortion and you had a chemical abortion and you went through that trauma, please get some help. Please attend our retreat that we're having coming up. If you live too far away from me, please reach out to me so we can find you something, because living through that is so traumatic, and I can only imagine if you haven't gotten help how you feel. I don't understand how that they can just glamorize it like that. All right, lie number 3. You have to take the second pill in the regimen or bad things are going to happen. So if you're not familiar with the abortion pill, it's 2 pills, mifepristone and misoprostol. You take the first pill when you're at the clinic, and they make you take it while you're there. And then they tell you after you've taken it that you must take the second pill within a certain amount of time, or very bad, catastrophic things will happen. This is not true. There is the abortion pill reversal regimen. Now, this is a progesterone treatment, and it can save your pregnancy if administered within the right amount of time. It must be administered before the second pill is taken. And this has a success rate of about 64 to 68%. If you take that first pill and change your mind, you do not have to take the second pill. And that is where the lie is. They tell you that you have to take this second pill. Bad things are going to happen if you don't. There's no way to undo it. There is. If you regret it after you take that first pill before you take the second one, there is hope for having a healthy pregnancy. There is research that says that this does not increase the risk of birth defects. So they like to scare you into telling you that this first pill could give your baby birth defects, and there's really no research that supports that. In fact, there's research that supports the opposite, that you can have a completely healthy baby. So, friend, if you're listening to this and you know that you may have a friend that has an unplanned pregnancy and she finds herself in a crisis, please know about the abortion pill reversal because that may help your friend. I'm going to have the information for this in the show notes. There's a whole number you can call and everything. So just know that that exists, and it is a complete lie that the abortion industry tells you when they act like it doesn't. Lie number 4, miscarriage and ectopic pregnancy require abortion. You guys, this is the biggest lie I've seen since Roe was overturned. You guys, a D&C procedure is not an abortion. This procedure, yes, can be used after a miscarriage for miscarriage management. That is when it's medically necessary for, to help the miscarriage move along. An abortion is defined as the ending of a life in pregnancy. You are ending the life of a, what they want to call, fetus, zygote, whatever they want to say. It is a baby. Abortion is ending the life. A D&C procedure is not an abortion. An ectopic pregnancy management, or however you want to word that, is not an abortion. Medical advances do not allow for the saving of a child in an ectopic pregnancy. They are not going to let the mother die just because of that. There is literally no abortion law that restricts physicians from saving the life of a mother in an ectopic pregnancy or miscarriage. It is just not true. They're going to tell you that. It is simply not true. If physicians aren't doing this, they are being negligent. And that, my friends, should require a very hefty lawsuit. At the same time, delivery also does not equal abortion because it's not intentionally killing a child. You can save the mother by inducing labor early and doing whatever you can to save that child. You have the pediatrician present at birth and they can administer treatments. It's 2 patients, you guys. There are interventions that can be done, and every single state in our nation, regardless of abortion laws, allows for these interventions. Please do not let the propaganda of the left and the pro-abortion movement, please do not let them get into your head and think that that's not true, because they can't do this, you guys. Okay. Lie number 5. You guys, I am very fired up, and I feel like I've prayed about this, but I feel like my delivery in this episode might not be, hopefully it's not off-putting. It's just that people aren't talking about this stuff. And this point of view is being censored on social media, on Google. It is, you guys, it's being censored, and I don't know who's going to hear this, but if I can help just one person realize this stuff, then I hopefully am accomplishing what God wants me to do. Because if we do not speak up about these things, then they don't get where they need to get. And I truly believe a majority of people who are pro-choice or pro-abortion really just do not understand how much the left is lying. I really do feel that they don't understand the science behind the fact that that child is really truly a child and a living being. I really do. I think that it's just a matter of these facts not being able to get out there. And the more people that hear them and understand them, I truly believe the more hearts can be changed when they truly hear what abortion is and how it is hurting women. It is ending lives. It is hurting women. It's not just ending the lives of children. It so is, but it is also ending the lives of women. You guys, it is. Again, so we have one more lie to talk about. Number 5 is that abortion restrictions are killing women. You guys, this is false. This is false, and I am going to link these sources. This was a portion of Dr. Christina Francis talk, And I loved this because this is another huge lie that we see after Roe was overturned, that, oh, abortion laws are going to kill women because they're not going to be able to get abortions and then they'll die. You guys, this is not true. This is not true. Abortion restrictions do not create a higher maternal mortality rate. There's actually some really interesting studies that show that they decrease the maternal mortality rate and that abortion increases the maternal mortality rate. So there was a study in Finland that showed that abortion was increasing the maternal mortality rate. There was a study in Chile, Chile. I've heard it pronounced both. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong when I say Chile, but when you've said something for so many years and then you find out that it's actually pronounced a different way, it can be kind of hard. So I will fix it. Chile, they made abortion illegal and they actually continued to see an improvement in maternal mortality rates. So they were going down. Maternal mortality rates were going down after abortion was made illegal in Chile. So, wouldn't it be safe to say that abortion restrictions are not causing the maternal mortality rate to go up? Pretty sure. Abortion restrictions also do not prevent doctors from treating miscarriages, ectopic pregnancies, or other pregnancy complications like preeclampsia, etc., etc. So that's really just kind of a false claim by the left, stating that, oh, if we restrict abortion, then we can't treat miscarriage, we can't treat ectopic pregnancy, we can't treat preeclampsia. In all of these scenarios, those treatments are not restricted when abortion is restricted. It's just not the case. And again, if a physician is refusing to do them because they're afraid of the law in their state, then they are being negligent and they are not educating themselves on their job description. So, we just went over again, there's way more than 5 lies, but we just went over 5 lies that the abortion industry tells you. Again, these were pretty heavy topics and, some facts, and this is quite unlike a lot of our other episodes we have, but I do pray that you found this episode informative. And if you have had a past abortion, I pray that this episode brought validity to any regret you may feel, because you should feel valid for feeling that way. And that's not me telling you, if you're listening to this and you don't regret your abortion, that's not me telling you to regret it. Again, that's not my place. I'm just sympathizing with those of you that do, because you should feel that that's valid to feel that way. And you are not alone if you struggle with this. You are not alone. There are so many women out there that feel the way you do. So please reach out if you need help. Again, even if you don't live in my area, I live in North Dakota. If you don't live in my area, I have had women reach out on Instagram and I have helped them find abortion healing programs in their area. So if you would like someone to help you with that, I would love to do that. You just send me a message. I'll put you in touch with someone if I know them, or if not, I'll find you something. All the sources that will back up everything I said are in the show notes. I'll also have some sources for if you're struggling with abortion. I'll also have that abortion pill reversal line in the show notes. So just make sure you look at the show notes this week because there's going to be a little bit more in there than normal. So, friend, thank you for listening. Thank you for bearing with me. If you have not left the show a review yet, I would be so blessed and grateful if you would. That is the only way that I truly know that you are enjoying the show, and reading that feedback just lights up my life. So thank you so much if you have done that. And if you haven't, I would be grateful if you would, wherever you're listening, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, please do that. And then keep these facts that you heard today close to your heart and share them in a loving way to help change other people's hearts. Because, friends, we live in a dark world, and like I said earlier, I truly believe that a majority of people who are pro-choice or pro-abortion do not know the severity in which the industry is lying. And if we can share these facts and this truth in a loving way, not by fighting on Facebook or Instagram and calling people names, but truly just sharing them from a place of love and understanding, we might be able to change some hearts and change the world, but it's going to take all of us to do that. And so I just challenge you. I'm not asking you to like put this as your Facebook status or anything like that, but I just challenge you, if you find yourself in a situation with somebody who has a different view on this issue than you do, keep these facts close to your heart. And if you find an opportunity, just share them in a loving way with that person and pray that that person can see the light and understand that abortion is not healthcare for women or for babies. So with that, I hope that you will tune in on Friday for a brand new episode. We're going to make Friday's episode a little bit lighter, so make sure you tune into that. I'll be excited to get that episode recorded. And until then, take care and God bless. Friend, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. My prayer is that all of you who listen will receive this truth and love and will walk away feeling blessed, hopeful, and excited for the next episode. Before you go, I would be so grateful if you would subscribe to the show and head to Apple Podcasts to leave us a review. Reviews are the only way I'm able to know that you are truly loving the show, and it brings me so much joy and happiness to get to hear directly from you. One last thing, if you would like to follow along with me on social media, please follow the show on Instagram at GoodNewsPod or my personal Instagram at BrittanyPoppy. I'll have these links for you in the show notes. And remember, you very well might know someone that needs this show. Spread the word if the Spirit leads, and make sure to tune in to the next episode. I can't wait to see you very soon.